Like I've completely stopped reading any games journalism websites for the longest time because it's just nothing.
I think sometimes if you just play a game, if you're just someone who's interested in video games or you're passionate or about anything really, movies or whatever, and you experience those things and you give like an honest rundown of just how you interpret it or how you feel, that in itself is interesting to people. Yeah. I mean, it may. I mean, obviously, it's going to be opinion based, but I think every criticism, despite how unbiased you try to make it, is going to be based on your own experiences. That's just a part of being a person who writes something out.
But as far as the TGAs go specifically, I'm also directly frustrated with them because they keep nominating and letting games win that are stupid. Like in a particular case, like they let Monster Hunter win RPG of the Year last year, and I'm like, Monster Hunter's not an RPG by like any metric. Like it doesn't have a story where you make choices, first of all, which is like step one for being an RPG. But even under the JRPG definition, where people are like, Pokemon's totally an RPG, even though it has no role playing in it.
I get to role play as someone who has Pokemon.
That's at least a game where things level up. You don't level up in Monster Hunter. It doesn't even have level up. There's no experience bar. There's no leveling. There's no skill trees. There's no talent trees. It's literally just fight boss fights over and over again, and then upgrade a weapon with the chunks that you get off of it, like in a crafting game. But it won RPG of the Year. And this year it was nominated again because they had an expansion. The Iceborne expansion came out this year, and I was so frustrated. Disco Elysium won, thankfully, but fucking Pathologic 2 not even nominated. One of the most ambitious RPGs ever made. It wasn't even nominated. So they give a slot to Monster Hunter.
That's bizarre.
I hate it.
And you're going to have to deal with more BTs as you head further west. Case in point, Emily's informed us of a tar belt outside of Edgenot City. A massive region crawling with BTs.
Do we I don't know, do we trust him?
And as much as we want you to get her out as soon as possible,
we're playing his game.
You don't have a snowball's chance in hell without your BB. So your first priority is to help Deadman restore it to working order. And since he's on site, maybe the two of you can discuss it in person.
Sam, I'm a little busy at the moment, so I hope you don't mind if we stick to Hollow.
Meet me in the shower.
First, I need you to link up a few preppers in the area so we can increase local chiral density. That's to bolster the connection between BB-28 and its still mother. Then, as I explained earlier, we need to correct your BB's alignment. To facilitate that process, we need to quite literally put some distance between you two. Keep it here while we send you out. If everything goes to plan, your BB should resume normal function.
Fortunately, this plan advances our other objectives. We want to integrate this region into the chiral network anyway. So build relationships with the preppers by making deliveries and convince them to come on board. It's not easy to make a home for yourself in those mountains. Even so, plenty of people had a mind to try. You'll find shelters scattered throughout. We've got a whole list of orders from them waiting to be processed. Remember, though, that you're dealing with folks who chose to live out there. Folks who probably value their privacy. Don't think for a second it'll be easy to win them over. You'll have to earn their trust, bit by bit, job by job. Another thing, Sam. You'll be making runs without a BB for a spell.
What?
That will
No
vastly
kidding.
diminish your ability to detect BTs. So keep your eyes and ears open for anything out of the ordinary. And stay the hell out of the rain if you can help it.
Hey, you do that anyway. You know, okay. One, do you think, is he like what if he was like the opposite of Fragile, where his face is time-falled, but the rest of him isn't?
Quote unquote burned.
Yeah.
It's time-fold until there's no skin. It's
that'd be kind of cool.
He has a skull face under his skull face.
They buried him.
Oh my god.
They buried him in dirt, and they were in sand, and they just left his face exposed. But the other thing I was gonna say is I think like one of my criticisms of this game is like when he was talking just now, there were like 4 sentences he said in a row that all iterated the same idea. You could have just picked one of those 4 sentences and you would have gotten the same idea across.
Yeah. No, the unfortunately Kojima's writing is incredibly bloated.
It's verbose.
Like he just
as
keeps talking. Like when his writing just keeps going in these games, and there's a lot of times where it's just like you're not really adding more. There was moments that, like I had catch up to do where like periodically I would sit there and I would listen to another audio log in Metal Gear Solid 5, kind of like how we're periodically reading another email. But I had some dedicated episodes where I just sat there and listened to an entire hour of audio logs in Metal Gear Solid 5 just continuously, and just to like just burn through a big chunk of my backlog every now and then in the playthrough, because the game just had endless piles of writing, and it's like, this is more is not better writing wise.
Yeah, I think like one of the first things they ever teach you when you like try to actually write is to like get your idea across as like effectively as possible, so that way if you want to pad it out with something like meaningful or billowy, it's not like repeating the same thing over again. You can get more crammed into like a smaller space that means more if you're able to say things in a more like effective way.
Yeah.
Like you could use those sentences for something better, but you had to use all of them for the same thing over and over again.
So like pretty much this entire game, I would kind of posit that the entire game would be better if you cut out like 90% of all of specifically Die Hardman's dialogue.
He's for sure the exposition boy.
He's number one like giant dialogue faux pas character.
Yeah, no, he's pretty bad.
Like
and he talks slowly
he
too.
uniquely talks too much. Yeah, and boringly
like
with
this.
Zero inflections.
He takes a long time to say
and his dialogue's boring. And he just does, he's maximum exposition mode, but he's inefficient exposition mode too. Like so many narratives have figured out how to tell these kinds of convey this kind of information more efficiently. So
what he said something along the lines of like, you got to go, so you got to connect more people to the network, and then a lot of these people are preppers, and so like understanding what we know about the preppers already implies that they're going to be difficult to work with, and that they're gonna he's like they're gonna be hard to work with. So that's another, like, okay, I already got that because you said that they're preppers, and he's like, you're gonna have to help them bit by bit to earn their trust. I'm like, well, that last sentence also
we've done this before, sir.
Yeah, and then that's
remember when we did it already? Like, we've done this exact narrative chunk before. No, Kojima's writing has gotten worse over time. Almost entirely in
it being
both.
his second language, or do you think it's as verbose in his?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely verbose.
So either way, it's fat.
Oop. What's happening?
Sam?
Oh, thank God.
Who are you? You're not my mom.
Uh-huh. Calling you via a Bridges dedicated line. I've been asked to carry on in my sister's place and provide you with support. We're whole again. One. Forever and always. We still speak, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting up to speed.
You back with Bridges then?
It's not about that. Never was. It's about what she wants. What we want. And why shouldn't we help you? You helped us. We're all connected now.
Thanks, Sam.
Right, you can kind of call her Mama still. Because Mama's in there. She's alive. Mama's not dead. You're gonna have to give in to calling her Mama.
I'm not gonna...
Gonna have to give in.
Well, that's conflicting.
Yep. Mama's in there like, why won't she call me Mama no more?
Oh, okay. Well, Keith, if you're gonna say it like that, I'm gonna have to. Because now I feel bad.
Oh, that's where that thing is. But no, shit, what were we just talking about? Oh yeah, the dialogue issues.
Dialogue, yeah.
His games just used to be shorter.
Well, I think maybe they had
And,
more.
like-
You know what? Maybe okay. I know like a lot of the arguments that Konami and Kojima had were about restrictions on his like creative freedom, right?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if maybe sometimes having a little bit of constraint on what you're allowed to do makes you more creative about what you can do. Some people's best work is like under the pressure of specific like guidelines that they have to adhere to. I almost wonder if maybe having some structure is good for Kojima.
No,
I mean, not to Konami's standards at all, because Konami is such asshats, but maybe having some sort of like, you can't do everything, Kojima, might be good for him.
Yeah, no, it's a relatively common thought to be like, he needs some kind of restraint. A lot of like so-called auteur type people that get a lot of credit for being like the core creative force behind these great things people like, even though these are all like massive team projects, often get less and less restrained over time until they become completely uncontrollable balls of whatever the hell they're doing. And yeah, then you get to a point where, like, a game like Metal Gear Solid 5, which was so long, and yet despite being so long, still had so much more to go, and that's why it just never got finished and just kind of stopped. Like, it literally, like, mid-story just cuts off and rolls credits, basically, and just gives up. Like, you get X number of cutscenes deep, and then the game just stops having more story, then flashes back to the beginning of the game to reveal, like, the one plot twist it had in its back pocket, and then just rolls the credits with no real ending happening. And it's like, it's because, but like, I played the game for I played it for like dozens of hours to get that far. And it's like, at some point, somebody needed to, like, someone kind of did need to restrain Kojima, and it wasn't happening, and it tends to not be happening. But he needs an editor most of all, just for dialogue. Yeah, no, you need someone to, like his old games had codec calls, but they were never as big of a problem. Those were actually really fun and clever. A lot of, like, they were cheeky. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 is better written than Death Stranding or Metal Gear Solid 5. You understand a lot of the character relationships by the way that they talk to each other. Like, you get a lot of like inferences about how they deal with each other all the time, and you kind of feel like they're like a lot of them are like, you understand what they are to each other. I think it's actually pretty well written.
A delivery? Oh, good.
Which cameos are you? Yeah, I was gonna say, who are these people?
Everything appears to be in perfect condition.
I like look at all these people with like bated breath. I'm like,
I don't know.
Be someone I know.
Could be
please.
Anyone.
Yeah, but honestly, they could be anyone because they're never people I recognize, even if I know who they are. Yeah, we blew right past Edgar Wright and Nicholas Winding Refn without even knowing.
There's something I've been meaning to ask. Would you help me join the UCA? If me being a part of it ensures more people get the medical attention they require, then it's well worth the hassle.
So you were a doctor, but you were
Does she just not speak?
Well, you're just there for moral support.
I'm just here to smile.
That's what I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I just
up.
I like when like sometimes like one of you guys will be interacting with someone and I'll like come over and just be like, I'm gonna stand here in case they need to like be intimidated by the fact that there's two people here instead of one. Like, I'm showing solidarity by standing next to you.
There really is a heart. There's a heart district wrapping around the Heart Lake. What? That chunk of the map is also heart-shaped. Like, you know, there's like a jigsaw of all the zones. Oh. There's a heart-shaped zone around the heart-shaped lake.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's right next to where we are right now.
That's where I want to live.
They're right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's pretty cute. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cute.
That's got to be where Hartman lives.
You would really think so.
He's not subtle. That's got to be where Hartman lives.
Thank you for that. I might not be as young as I once was, but I've still got plenty to offer. Oh, by the way, I came across something I thought you might find useful. You're more than welcome to it.
Is cologne?
What is that?
There's a cologne.
Is it whiskey?
Oh, hey.
Is that a flask? It's a flask of Monster. That's why it's got a green stripe. Canteen. I was right.
Oh my goodness.
It's green because it's a flask of Monster.
That would make... you know, if you made
it... It produces Monster energy. It produces Monster energy.
No, it produces...
to save lives. And, as you know, every life that's saved is one fewer BT to deal with. Which in the long run means even more lives are saved. Please, don't give up. No matter how difficult it may become, I implore you.
I see you've put another shelter on the network. Nice job. Chiral levels are increasing as predicted, which is good. As for BB-28, you'll be pleased to hear the operation went well. There should be no need for additional major procedures. We're not out of the woods yet, but I think it's safe to say that the worst is behind us. All that remains is to continue expanding the network, monitor changes as chiral levels increase, and make adjustments as necessary. Drug therapy should suffice. Keep it up, Sam.
I don't like that we agreed to that.
Did you wipe our BB's memories? Is this like fucking Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Did you go into like BB's head and erase us from BB?
Oh my god.
Although I do like to point out what everyone else is pointing out constantly, which is the fact that babies don't retain memories up to a certain age anyway, but we're gonna forget that. We're gonna pretend like
Yeah,
that's
but
not true.
they're a special BB baby. It's already half dead. It had to grow up so fast.
Hey, cutie robot. That was really trying to sing. I want a CD of the robot's greatest hits.
Yeah, that's where I'm going back to anyway. Oh wait, is it? Oh, did I just tell the robot to do that one? I thought I told him to go way further.
Did you just give it something really important?
Well, it's just that spot's like next door from here.
Oh.
The map looked like it was sending it way further than that. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Oh well. Now I just gotta go right back where I came from and pick up the other mission. I didn't want to get them at the same time because you had to do it with half cargo damage. So I figure why risk it? I'll just come back anyway because the other one's like in the other direction. But no, it says a lot to me. I'm currently playing a game that's similar to this called Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, where you wander from east to west across the United States, connecting with a bunch of people.
I know, I was gonna say, you were telling me about that.
It's a strangely
and I
similar
remember
premise.
thinking that was odd that you were playing something like that at the same time.
And it came out a year ago. And it's like, and like every time anyone speaks, I'm just like, ooh, what's gonna happen here? Because like it's all about sharing and connecting with stories and evolving those stories. And it's like, it's like I'm all engaged and stuff. But even beyond that, I'm playing a CRPG called Disco Elysium that never shuts up. It's basically you walk 10 feet and then you have an hour-long conversation. Then you walk like 10 feet and have another like an hour-long conversation that's bouncing between all your personalities talking to each other and you having skill checks against trying to persuade or interact with another person, and while you're discussing like politics and the modern world around you that's like a vague like fictionalized version of like previous century Eastern Europe kind of post-revolutionary stuff. But also you're interrogating the story and you have multiple mysteries that are all going on in parallel with each other, with a conspiracy, with a bunch of other things going on. And it's like I'm just sitting here reading dialogue the entire time, and I'm never bored. But like, fucking Die Hardman comes up for 10 seconds, and I'm like, and like that says a lot about Kojima's writing, I think. And like, the moment we have a cutscene, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. But every single fucking holo call, I'm like, I don't want this.
Me too. And
I just want more cutscenes.
It's hard for me because I'm like, I should pay attention because some of the stuff might be important. But like the little like nugget of the important stuff is like buried under like 90% of like exposition I didn't need.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to like screw it up by talking over the important part, but anything else, it's like I'm so tempted to just not even pay attention to.
Just like, yeah.
My brain just like instantly zones out.
Like while the game's telling me what's happening, I basically just want to turn off the audio and listen to a podcast instead. Like it's
spend your time better.
Yeah, almost basically every interaction that happens in holo form is basically a waste of brain.
Have you ever like met someone in real life like that? I remember so distinctly.
Like people that like
a person
every time they speak, it's just like, oh god.
Like you can't hold my attention. Like,
well, I always fear that that's who I am.
you know what though? Like, okay, you might be like that to somebody, but I think everyone might be like that to somebody. I'm sure someone would zone me out, but I do throw in some weird shit, so it might catch them off guard. They'll be like, womp, 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 and then I'll be like, furry fetishism, and I'll be like, what? And I'll be like, womp, 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 womp. Like, and then he ripped out his spine, blah, 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 gore or something. And then I'll be like, what stuff are you talking about? But no, I mean, obviously you have people that listen to you, so you should feel good about that.
Yeah.
You guys are building Keith's self-esteem.
And that self-esteem's dangerous.
Yeah, he's a madman with his...
I was posting my stupid rock pictures and somebody was like, no one cares. So I'm like, fuck off, smiley face.
Pictures of rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, is it your columnar?
Yeah, the columnar joining.
Joining, yes.
I have a backlog of like 10 pictures to post over the next few weeks. Slowly metering them out. They're all on my desktop, just sitting there. Whoa, that was a weird rotation that just happened.
I did have a friend of mine, like, I mentioned that I was playing Death Stranding, and Taylor listened to us, and she's like, Keith talks way more than I thought he did in real life. And I was like, yeah.
Well, because she met me in a party where I'm scared.
Keith talks a lot.
And surrounded by strangers. Because I don't throw parties, so it's never my friends.
See, I'm really good at parties.
I hate parties. I'm just surrounded by strange people, and they're all...
Well, that one guy really wanted to drink with
That guy wanted me to drink so bad. He ruined Wreck-It Ralph as a character for me.
The guy,
He's just dressed as Wreck-It Ralph, just pressuring me to drink for like hours.
Your name's Keith, right?
Yeah, he thought he was getting points.
Well, I actually...
he thought that the fact that he could identify my name was like special points. It's like, see, I know your name. That means, see,
that means we're friends. You should drink with me. I'm offended that you won't.
Yeah, and I'm like, go away.
I was trying to defend you, Keith. I was like, leave Keith alone.
Creepy man. I don't know if I can go up this hill. Hop, hop, hop,
Bethesda it. You can't do that in a car, though.
Let's not go downhill. I won't recover. I won't recover from going downhill.
That sounds like a metaphor for like someone's terrible, like, if I go down from here, I'll never recover.
Yeah.
My depression. Oh no, it's crippling.
I'm just emulating all the different snow stories I've heard, where they're like, if I lay down now, I'll never wake up again.
One of my the best ones I think are written by John Muir. He wrote some really riveting ones about people dying in the snow, what their experiences were like as they were dying.
Physics.
Dude,
did you see that?
That would be fun. I wish I could drive my car like that and not have any consequences at all.
But no, I wish the story of this game was told entirely via those cutscenes. And I'm not even asking for more cutscenes. I'm just saying, like, throw like 2 more lines of dialogue at each cutscene to summarize. Like, actually be forced to summarize the shit that you're trying to say in all these holo calls.
I want more cutscenes of Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro chit-chatting in the shower. Please.
Yeah.
Kojima.
Every time a real cutscene happens, it happens.
So tickled pink by that.
It's so binary. Like, every time any real cutscene happens in this game, I'm fucking riveted. And every single time a not cutscene is happening, I'm like, shut up.
That is true.
Shut up. Go away.
Every cutscene has been very interesting.
Yeah, I love them. That's why I keep going. Also, the gameplay is enjoyable enough in its weird, whatever this is, way. Here you go,
High
buddy.
Bounce Springs.
Here's your roboticist delivery. And that roboticist, Albert Einstein.
He shows up in a... You're like, who's that guest star?
Oh, you made it.
Who are you? Can never tell.
I can't even tell when I'm able to see them.
Handled with care, I see.
The last person, the old man, looked familiar too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I might just be, everyone just might look familiar to me now.
The roboticist is played
that's
by...
the voice.
The voice is Sally.
Yeah, you gotta do the voice is never the right voice.
It doesn't say who the face is.
Maybe it's nobody.
I think it's just somebody's face. Ooh, who did you play? Oh, no one cares. She played Annie Leibovitz in Watchmen. Who?
In the movie?
She played Ingrid in the several Resident Evil movies. Who the fuck is Ingrid? Apparently Ingrid's in Resident Evil 4 also.
Ingrid Goes
so
West.
I guess it's just the fact that I haven't played. Oh, she's your Kodak caller character from Resident Evil 4. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. As soon as I saw that mugshot looking picture,
I've never played
her.
that game. Oh, she plays half the characters in Remnant, apparently, a game I'm playing right now. This is not interesting though. This is a voice actor IMDb. That's an endless wormhole. Every voice actor is in every
my
product.
favorite ones are anime ones. Those ones are my favorite.
They get around.
They do.
You're the one to talk to about the chiral network. Is it true that a contractor let me access your schematics and so forth? I want to share my research with everyone. Let them read it. Let them learn from it, like I learned from their work. Make me a part of the UCA.
Yeah,
She's like, I want to access his schematics, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, hey baby, give me access to those schematics. That's such a bad, like that wouldn't make any sense out of context, but I guarantee if I'll go use it and someone be like, well, that sounds fancy. I've never been picked up like that before. It would work.
Look at my purple grenades. I'm a deadly boy.
Yes, you are.
Are those all empty? I don't think I have any of my stuff with me right now, which is kind of a problem. There's so much strand established. When do I get to go to Hartman?
She looks familiar.
Yeah.
She kind of reminds me of the girl that takes ricin in Breaking Bad, though.
Oh. No.
I know. Yeah, I know it's not her.
Who that is.
I know, but she has the same kind of...
I was going to say that she looks so generic that she looks like what you get.
Very good. Guess we're in this together now, Sam. I'd love to show you around the place, but it's a terrible mess.
I don't think she's detailed enough to be a real person.
BB-28 appears to be on the road to recovery. Its affinity with the other side is growing stronger, as we hoped. The convulsions and spasms have ceased as well.
Oh.
I know it's tough out there without a BB, but you've got to keep on fighting the good fight. Just like the kid is. Just like BB-28 is.
Sam, we've received an order from a new client. Check the terminal in Mountain Knot City for the details, and do it soon. Sounds like someone is in need of medicine.
It's just that the codec calls in this game are so boring that that every single time I'm like, every time it rotates to a new person, I feel betrayed. Like, no, it's not over. I thought it was over.
And another one. And it goes back.
Another one.
And then it goes forward. And then it goes back.
Another one. The doctor. This one's
The doctor.
Delivered to weather station or delivered to the doctor. Over there, there's Hartman over there, I think.
I thought it was funny that
It's gotta be Hartman.
that doctor that you talked to last time was like, I should be a part of the network so I can save lives. And I'm like, yeah, why aren't you connected with people as a doctor?
Yeah.
What good are you doing if you aren't?
I'm the doctor, so I exiled myself to a remote mountain where no one can find me.
Maybe a witch doctor would.
Yeah.
Like you have to go see the shaman.
Up, up, up. Let's just drive straight down the hill. This is even, I don't think this is even my vehicle. So that makes it okay. Oh god, I have to go up the hill to drive down the hill though.
Well, yeah, you do have to go up hills to go down hills, Keith.
I have to wipe out my previous markers first. Let's go like over here, then like down here. Let's drive down the hill like a lunatic. I don't have any valuable stuff on me.
It is kind of freeing.
Whee! But the, what was I saying? Yeah, a lot of Kojima's games could potentially benefit from being shorter, or just having an editor to choose to tell them what stuff just to remove entirely, or like, is having this full conversation where we just check in on the basic idea of delivering cargo always worth it? And if it is too boring, spread your little writing muscles and like give us like a story. Like it'd be more fun if there was like fewer people to deliver to, but more of them had a story, as opposed to, you know, being there and having a name and that's it. And by name I mean a designation where they explain us. This one is the doctor, I guess.
Well, everyone that's
it.
Ooh.
Okay, so they just cheat. Gotcha. They just cheat. That's okay. Okay. I thought you could like speed through it. I don't fully get the rules yet necessarily.
Maybe you just ran into one like completely.
Well, it was the fact that I completely stopped moving and became in the puddle instantly. I thought you could just drive through it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I thought you could just go for it.
Oh, they gave your car back.
But I guess they can like catch you mid-run, and it doesn't matter how fast you're going. They can instantly freeze you in a puddle. which is a little frustrating.
I'd say that does seem a little
I don't
frustrating.
know. I've had successful runs where I just drive through the BT zone, and other successful runs where I just run away when it starts going bad.
Maybe it's your BB.
And it's just that, like, both times, whenever that happens, I have no idea why I'm getting away with it that time.
Yeah, I know.
Is the issue. So whenever I do something right, I'm not sure if I understand what I did right, so I don't know how to do it again. But like sometimes they just get me instantly, and I don't know why that happened. Here it goes again. I don't know. I'm just not sure what the rules are. No. Oh, I think they got me. Alright.
They're just like bringing you to a place where they can
Oh boy.
have this animation exists.
So you're just the new boyo, huh? Oh no!
Wait.
Oh no! Oh no! No 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 no!
Only one of them has a glowing face, though.
No 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 no.
Right? Oh no, they both. No.
No 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 no. No 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 no. No 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 no. No no.
Yep.
No 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 no.
No 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 no. No 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 no.
No 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 no.
No 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 no. Keep an eyes.
No no
new
no
hit
no
song.
no no.
I was gonna do. No 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 no
Reedus.
no 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 no.
No 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 no.
Sounds good.
No 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 no.
Do you know that originated on the Muppets?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. I found out recently a lot of people don't know that.
No. That's all I know about it.
Oh.
Is that it originated on the Muppets, and then at some point Cake covered it. There's a Cake cover of it that's really good.
I heard a cover of it somewhere today. Like a retail environment.
I see Cake as like the jackpot of cover bands.
See, I feel that way
Like
about...
if Cake covers a song, you're like, oh yes.
So okay, there's only... I'm really strict about covers. Cake's covers are good. Creed's Clearwater Revival's covers are good. In fact, I prefer most of them to the originals. But I just like the way that their style is.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Rage Against the Machine, all their covers are good because they're almost in a completely different style than the original song. Like their Bob Dylan covers are my favorite. Maggie's Farm is great. But no, I'm like really picky about my covers. There's a band called Sloth Rust that does a really good cover of Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
That's really fun. It's definitely not what you'd expect from that. But anyways, now either covers, you either have to do... Yeah, I think usually you should do the song in a different style, so it doesn't seem like you're doing the impossible by recreating it.
But also recreating the original thing is pointless because then you're just not doing anything.
But a lot of people will try to do like the same song again. And I'm like, no, do it in your own style because I'm gonna hate you if you try to do like a song that's too similar to the original because you're never gonna be as good as that person that I already love. So it's like the bar is already too high for you.
Ziplines are disappointing so far.
Meanwhile, Five Finger Death Punch is doing Sounds of Silence.
That's the bottom of the barrel for covers.
Which makes me so mad. And also because I feel like
they did a terrible song of Sound of Silence cover.
I feel like they're missing the. I think they're missing the point.
They did a terrible Offspring cover.
The tone is completely wrong for what the point of the song is.
No, have you heard their cover of Gone Away by Offspring?
Yes.
It's fucking miserable.
And then Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh yeah, they did Zombie, and they didn't even commit to the fucking interesting part of the song because they're cowards and didn't want to sound weird. So they just cut that entire part of the song.
I love that part.
Yeah.
I always try to do it, but I can't.
It's hard. It's a lot.
She's got a special voice.
She sounds like a fucking wind flute. Like she sounds like a special like wooden like flute instrument where she has that like a specific like riff at the end.
Yeah, no.
Zombie.
She's one of those female vocalists that I like the sound of. I'm really picky about female vocalists too, and I don't know why I hold them to a different standard. I don't know why. I think because some of them, I don't know.
She just goes like, I
just like Angry Girls. Angry Girls are my favorite.
Oh.
I think it's because a lot of women are pressured to sing similarly.
She has that impossible thing where every note ends with like a weird voice crack, basically. Like a weird, like a weird. Like I don't know how you learn you can do that specific sound because it's rough. But that's like fucking like Jefferson Airplane S tier singing.
Oh, I love
like White Rabbit.
White Rabbit's great.
But when I was talking earlier about how like I didn't really quite get to the thought, but remember when I mentioned that like the Oscars are bad, but they're better?
Yeah.
Is that the Oscars consider so many not commercially successful movies, like like a lot of the like this like people call it Oscar bait and stuff like that, but it like it's not, they don't, the Oscar is not all the fucking Marvel movies punching it out for which one was the movie of the year, but like video game awards are the Marvel movies all punching it out for game of the year. It's all the most financially successful games that are all AAA produced, heavily marketed things in a contest for which one wins for the most part. And then like one weird throwaway exception of like, oh cool, that game got it in, that's fun. And that's always the exception that like proves the rule of like how everything else is like the most popular games ever. It's like, it's very frustrating to have stuff like Disco Elysium and Pathologic 2 and Outer Wilds come out and get almost no recognition, while everyone's like, yeah, but like, which award should Control be nominated for? And what should we nominate Death Stranding for? What should we nominate like Call of Duty for? And it's like,
yeah, it's like we're obligated to have these, so we have to squeeze them into whatever category we can, because our audience is expecting.
Otherwise we'll have a gamer rise up moment where everyone gets mad that their favorite thing they can get in. So this specifically bothered me because in the I think it was IGN gave Game of the Year to Control, and you've heard my long ass rants about how like that game is incoherent from a game design standpoint. That's the one that's the cool haunted house. Like visually it's cool, but like gameplay wise it's ass.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
really
say,
poorly thought out.
Conceptually,
and like games are supposed to be games, and it's not a good game. Like by any standard, it's a bad shooter, and that's literally what all of the gameplay is. It's a weird mess of a game, and it's winning Game of the Year and being nominated for Game of the Year across the board.
On a technical level, it doesn't.
Meanwhile, one of the coolest things to ever come out basically is Pathologic 2, and it's not even getting nominated. Not even in its own genre specifically. And RPG is the most underserved genre in video games.
Well, you know,
like there's like they have to literally just have to nominate all the ones that exist, and then pick the one winner, because there's only that. There's usually like a whole 5 that came out all year.
Like I think video games are as a genre of medium, I think they're like the underdogs in a lot of ways, because as a person that's always been interested in film, we were already at the point where it's like you need to have you need to have niche categories of film for you to be considered respectable. It's almost like the Oscars have to have the hipster bullshit, the like pretentious art stuff, because if they don't, then they don't seem like.
That's the roboticist's custom-made active skeleton, isn't it?
It's okay. It's Mama-ish.
That's her new name.
Mama-ish.
Mama-ish.
But it's like, if you don't have those artsy films that some people hate, that sometimes aren't even good but are there because they have to be there, then you're not considered a respectable Oscar lineup. Games haven't gotten to that point of like snootiness exactly yet, although there are people who I think will like things just to be contrarians, or maybe just to be pretentious hipsters or whatever. But as far as like the mainstream video game awards, you're not going to get that variety of stuff. I don't know. It's just, I feel like films, we've come to expect it. The art world expects it. Like I think in like writing that kind of comes up a lot. But I feel like video games they're kind of a newer medium, and so we haven't gotten to that point of we haven't gotten the award show down yet, is what I'm trying to say.
What's frustrating, I'm not even like asking for like The Passage to be nominated, which is like, that's like French silent film level of like pretentious indie game.
I think there's maybe too much potential for what. Well, no, I guess I don't know. It's too much variety. It's like what is a video game? I think that comes up too often. But then what is art? So I guess I can't really say that either. But there's no awards for art, so maybe that's a similar problem.
Yeah.
Well, no awards for art that anyone that cares about. But
I just get very frustrated when I spend, because like I spend all year in this industry and like absorbing all the weirdness of it and reveling in that, and then I see the awards come out and I'm like, y'all don't even try. Like you're not even like in the video game universe, Moonlight never gets a nod.
Yeah,
like stuff like that literally doesn't get a nod. And like a lot of the stuff that does win Oscars isn't even like pretentious. It's just
not always, but
Marvel.
There is some, but what I'm trying to say is like you don't.
Like the stuff that wins Best Picture, for example, tends to be incredibly consumable content. Like any random person can watch like The Artist and be like, yeah, I get it.
I don't think
they're not going to be like,
true.
oh my god, how could anyone watch this? Those Oscar people sure are crazy.
Man, you know how people hate The Revenant that I've talked to?
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, Keith, you know
Who the fuck hates The Revenant? People's minds are boring.
Keith,
I don't like people.
You get to spend your time
ouchie.
With these wonderful people who watch your channel. I get to spend time with normal people.
Ow, stop.
But they love you. They said, Dad, come home. You've been out getting milk for too long.
I don't know, I just want more audience.
No, see, I think
I want more audience because I feel helpless when I find things that are cool and I can't do anything to help because I have 70,000 subscribers.
You're lucky, Keith. You're lucky because the people who are subscribed to you or talk to you usually probably like similar things to you because that's why they like to listen to you talk, right?
Yeah.
If you're like an average Joe who's forced to interact with people on a regular basis, who you have nothing in common with, then you have to hear them talk about the things that they like that absolutely suck all the time, and you realize how sad the world is.
People have really boring thoughts sometimes.
Yeah. So if you think
I have been trapped in the conversation with people that are like, wow, what a boring movie that Fury Road. What garbage. Too much special effects. Like really confusing bad thoughts. And I'm like, I hate talking to you. I don't like this conversation. Stop.
Fight this conversation.
I'm so gonna get dragged. Ah, fuck. Yep, here it comes. Frankly, it's better to get caught. It's easier to run away from the monster than it is to spend 30 minutes slowly stealthing through the zone because it takes so long.
Yeah.
Although now I can't slowly stealth through the zone because I don't have a BB anyway. So I just kind of have to run forward regardless. Yep.
Oof.
But like, it is kind of nice in the back of my head to be like, when I see a really good movie any given year, like when I see Knives Out or when I see Jojo Rabbit, in the back of my head I'm thinking like, you know what? There's a few different organizations where there's a pretty good chance this movie will get recognized for being a rad little cool project that I saw. And in the back of my head, when I'm playing video games that are really interesting and fresh and crazy, in the back of my head I just know that like I might be the only person who notices this thing even happened. like there's not gonna be like, oh man, in a crazy upset, fucking Pathologic 2 won Game of the Year. Or even like RPG of the Year, or Indie Game of the Year, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, no, it's not. Pathologic 2 is not going to get even nominated. Like, the only thing that's going to make this game get any copies sold is that it's like an upswell of like deranged YouTubers that make video essays about it, because like the awards systems are going to only look at the most successful games in the entire market essentially, and kind of pick the really obvious easy choices.
You know what I think that maybe what movies have that video games don't is like a much longer track record of having like of proven classics, because movies have been around so much longer that like you look back on a movie that maybe wasn't financially successful but it's still brought up and you're like, well, yeah, that movie's a success because look how much it's like changed like the zeitgeist by existing. Video games haven't been around long enough for maybe that to happen. Maybe we don't have standards to hold them to because they haven't been around to like test out standards.
The entire industry is still maturing.
Yeah. Like you look back on like, I think back to like there's a lot of movies that are great that were not financially good, but you look back on them and you still talk about them 30 years later and you're like, yeah, that movie, that is a good movie that comes up all the time, that is, you know, important. Like The Labyrinth is a movie that failed financially, in case y'all didn't know, but like that's a great movie, and
yeah, puppets.
The proof is that people still talk about it and love it, like me. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about why we're at this point, and also I wonder if maybe like the demographic of people who play video games. I feel like there's more. Is there more contention between people who play video games? You think like it's a more like a virulent audience to try to have like Do people get angrier, you think? I don't know.
Does they get angry about what?
Video games? People get angrier about angrier about video games than they do about movies?
No.
No?
No. As somebody who...
I'm saying this from someone who really wouldn't know.
As somebody who likes The Last Jedi, no.
Okay.
People get very angry about movies. And
I guess.
For the same reasons, too. The same very irritating reasons, in many cases. It's a lot of being mad about the women's and so on.
Gosh, I'm mad about women's too. Women's are bad. I don't like women's at all.
What an experience.
I hate myself.
It happens a lot. There's a lot of both. There's a lot of that in both. A lot of real mad, oh, how could this war game have a WOMs in it? Boycott. You can't spell boycott without boy. No, that's a stupid joke.
Oh no.
It's a really stupid joke. But
See, then you put a woman in something and it's like, oh, well, she's hot though.
I've been straight up messaging people, and it's stupid. It's me shouting into the void anyway, because I don't have any clout. But like, whenever a larger YouTuber shows any interest in Pathologic 2, I'm like, fucking go for it. Like, I think I said that at H-Bomber Guy, and I said that at Jacob Geller and a few other people, because I'm just like, no, more stuff has to more videos from channels where the videos get watched need to make videos about this game. Because that game exists in a specific limbo where it's super interesting and ambitious and crazy, but it's supposed to be 3 campaigns long like the first game was, and they've only been able to make 1 campaign so far because they can't, like, it's not financially viable. And like the game needs to sell copies because it's just, they're just in a mess at this point. And so yeah, when when Mandalore Gaming and H-Bomber Guy and a few other channels actually get around to making big videos about Pathologic, I'm like, yes! Because like this is the only chance, because the fucking Game Awards are going to completely pretend this game doesn't exist. Like, despite the sheer scale and ambition of that project, you go on like Metacritic and it's like, yeah, it's like 4 people reviewed this game total. Like, out of all the publications that are reviewing games, just ignored it. It's like it's not even that it didn't get good reviews. It didn't get reviews for the most part. All the main publications that are how people hear about games existing, outside of just massive marketing budgets, straight up pretend the game doesn't exist.
Thank you.
That's not helpful. Vault Boy.
He does look like he's wearing a vault suit.
He's the Mountaineer. All right, which celebrity is he? Is he an actor from The Revenant? He's voiced by Travis Willingham, who has oh yeah, there's no character model reference. What did you do though? He played Harvey Dent in Batman Telltale games.
I don't care about that.
I know. Wow. Everything he's in is boring.
Ew. Oh, he was in Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island as Seaver. I don't know.
He plays Thor when they can't get real Thor.
Way to be that voice actor. The one that's like, we couldn't get the real guy, so you're gonna play Genie in the Disney animated TV show. Like,
oh no, the Robin Williams scab.
Yeah, because Robin Williams didn't want to work with Disney after they went against his wishes. Yeah, by mass producing toys with Genie all over it.
Feeling better already.
Alrighty then.
But I'm not kidding myself.
Oh.
Even if they did work that fast, the doctor said she needs a lot more than antibiotics.
Oh.
She's carrying our child. I want her looked at as soon as possible. Please, I need you to go to the doctor for me. He's got some kind of machine. Thinks it might help. I couldn't make out the details. Damn connection kept dropping out. But someone needs to go and fetch it. Take anything you need from that shelf. Hell, just take all of it.
He's got such a in a world voice. You right?
Oh.
Right, here, we'll give Norman a rest, and we'll take a break. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya. I'm gonna sit just like that.
Yeah. We need to refill his sad meter.
Oh no.